colds are so closely linked in our minds that it's usually hard to tell which came first.
We both feel somewhat helpless when it comes to the cold. We don't really know what to do.
Daddy, I wasn't looking at the camera. I was just looking at my brother.
Ben Hammonds is the father of 3 children, including 4-year-old Sophie. According to medical experts, it is normal for kids around this age to catch cold 4 to 5 times a year. In adults, the ratio is about 2 or 3 times a year. Still, says Dr. Ranit Mishori of Georgetown University Hospital, many people believe it is possible to become immune to colds. Unfortunately, she says that's not the case.
There are about 200 different viruses that cause the common cold. People think that once you get infected one time, you develop immunity for the rest of your life. This is wrong.
There are many other common beliefs about colds that medical science does not support. How many of us believe the main cause of the common cold is exposure to cold temperatures? Even some studies have shown that people get sick more frequently during the winter. But Dr. Mishori says it is not because of the cold weather.
It's because people tend to congregate and be together, and the way the common cold virus is transmitted from one person to another is through handshakes, through sneezing or coughing on one another.
It's a dragon!
While there is no actual cure for the common cold, Dr. Mishori says there are still a few things you can do to help reduce its duration and intensity.
We try to give them a lot of juice, a lot of orange juice, because we think vitamin C helps kids to get over the cold.
Though the medical community says vitamin C does not help prevent colds, there is definitely some proof that it helps keep them from being as bad.
So if you get a cold on day 1 and you start taking about 2 grams of vitamin C a day, there is evidence that it might shorten the number of days that you'll be suffering with these symptoms.
In addition, medical science says honey and chicken soup are effective against colds, especially honey.
There's increased evidence that it helps shorten the duration of the common cold, sometimes even by 2 to 3 days, particularly in children. Chicken soup has anti-inflammatory properties, so it helps reduce the duration of the cold, but also it helps clear the mucus.
There is also a common belief that you should feed a cold and starve a fever. Dr. Mishori says not necessarily.
When you do have a cold, if you don't feel like eating anything, it's not going to hurt you, but you have to drink a lot. And you can drink water or you can drink tea, anything that gets fluids into your body, that's very important.
I drank it all!
So if drinking fluids is a good idea, what about milk?
I would never give milk to a child that's got a bad phlegm in your throat, because a lot of my son used to have that and he would throw it up.
Nadine Audrey, the Hammonds kid's grandmother, believes it's not a good idea to give milk to a child who has a cold. Well, says Dr. Mishori, maybe and maybe not.
Dairy products do not cause increased secretions, but they can thicken the secretions. So it's possible that the discomfort is somewhat more enhanced when you drink milk, but obviously if you're a baby and that's all you drink, you should not stop giving babies milk.
There are many other myths about colds that do not pass scientific muster. Doctors say the best advice is to continue using whatever works best for you. Even if it does not make the cold better, it won't make it worse either, while you wait for the cold to just run its natural course. Ayesha Khalid, Voice of America.